she's gone too far to keep as a wooden boat, so the only option I got left now is to fiberglass the whole friggin' thing. Something I didn't want to do, but in order to save her, I got no other choice. My tape on the corners. For fiberglassing, is a good idea to round off all the corners because glass don't like sharp corners. Some places you can't get away with it, but where you can, round everything off. So we're getting ready to put a layer of mat on the bottom. I was saying to cover up that beautiful juniper boy. Timbers in her are bad too. So once I get the glass on her, I got the option. I can flip her over and pull all the timbers at the inside of her if I want to and do her inside. I don't have time to do it this year, but it'll be a great project for next year, I'd say. And now that she's glassed, I'll always have her, certainly. So that's it. This last one my dad and I made, so I didn't want to get rid of it anyway. I wouldn't get rid of it, certainly. And when she's all glassed, I got the option of using her as a mold to cast some solid fiberglass ones just like her. And that's probably what I'll do. Alright, mix up some resin and get into this stinky shit. Alright, so she's glassed. The resin's still wet yet. Looks pretty woolly and pretty raw. But she got to get a rough sanding now, belt sander, and then we'll put on the fairing compound and level the surface and give her another quick sanding again. And I'm not using gel coat on her because I think I'm going to end up sanding her off again later on, maybe to put more glass on her or strip her and use her for a mold, one or the other. So I'm just going to put a glucosa enamel paint over the resin. Should be okay. What I'm going at is going to be okay. It's going to have to be. Itching from fucking head to toe. I took the belt sander here, went around, knocked off all the high points on the resin to get ready for fairing compound, and look for voids or air bubbles in the fiberglass that where it didn't adhere to the wood. These places you see, I went around, I circled all the spots where the resin didn't adhere. It's just little bubbles. I gotta grind these out, put out a patch and sand again. And after that's done, we'll go ahead and lay some fairing compound. Now you could buy actual epoxy resin from the same manufacturer with the putty mixed in it. All you do is add activator and you put it on like you were plastering the wall, and that'll completely even the surface. And where I bought my resin to, they didn't have any fairing compound, so I gotta use another epoxy based product, which is body filler. It's a 2-part epoxy based filler. It adheres to the resin just as good as the proper fairing compound. So I went ahead here and done a little section to see what it was going to turn out like, and you can see it there. It gives you a perfectly level surface for paint. Yeah, so I got to go around, grind out all those bad spots, patch them, lay the epoxy, fairing compound, sand, and then I'm ready for paint. I'm going to do something a little different with this one. Instead of fiberglassing the stem and the keel into the boat, I'm going to use juniper, and I'm going to lay it, screw it down on top of the fiberglass, because I find the stem and the keel, where I'm using it in shallow water a lot, fish, trouting, and running to the shore, and trapping and everything else, gets racked up pretty bad. So I want to be able to pull it off and replace it down the road, because I'm planning on having this boat a long time here now. Yeah, so I better get at it, I guess, and get those bad spots grinded out and patched, and get that fairing compound laid. I get all those patches laid on, those little patches right up through, right around there. Now this stuff is going to set up pretty quick, because I put a lot of activator in the resin, and it's probably tacky already. And be careful not to put too much activator in them, because if you put too much activator in this resin, one of the byproducts of the chemical reaction is heat, and the stuff will catch a fire. Alright, so while I'm waiting for that to set up, I'm going to knock all these lumps and high spots off the counter or transom, and then I'll sand those down and get at the rest of the fairing compound. Yeah, let's get at it. Pretty soon we're going to be putting the stem post in, shaping that. We got a keel to put in. I'd say I'll have her ready for paint, and we got to put some risins in her, and I got to flip her over and paint her. Any idiot can go out and buy a boat, huh? Well, I'm telling you, it's not that difficult to build one, and you can save a hell of a lot of money. So if you see an old wooden boat around, looks derelict, looks like trash, I'm telling you, you can take it and make an awesome boat for yourself. So if you see one, grab it. Alright, for now guys, as always, take it easy.